No, I'm here. I'm here. Don't start it without me. Don't start it. I'm coming. All right. I'm here. I swear. Hold on. There we go. Okay. I was in the building. I swear. I was just getting coffee. Marcy's Diner, my favorite diner of all time in Portland, Maine. If you're ever in Portland, Maine, go to Marcy's Diner. Say hello to everybody there from me. Usually it's my Friday mug because Friday was the day that I always went to Marcy's because I'd go after my radio show at like 11:45 in the morning, maybe noon. But I go every Friday. I love Marcy's. Okay. Sorry, I'm coming in disheveled today. I'll ad- uh, I'll admit it. I will admit it. I forgot about the podcast. Sorry. Which is strange because it's like my favorite thing. It's like my favorite thing right now, and I totally forgot about it. And then I was driving down the George Bush Tollway, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to do the podcast today." We're doing the podcast today. It's Wednesday. It's podcast day. So it's hump day. Hey, Mike. Guess what it is? It's hump day. What was? The advertisement did its job, as in I remember the advertisement, but what was it for? It didn't do its job, as in I can't remember what it was for, and my mouse is just not working. It was for Geico. I think it was for Geico. Yes, because it was. How do you feel saving 15% or more on car insurance? As happy as a camel on hump day on Wednesday. That's what it was. That's what it was. Okay. I was about to be like, ah. All right, so I've got my mouse working here. I'm sorry, I'm like all disheveled today because I forgot about the podcast. Oh my gosh, I swear I'm a professional, you guys. All right, so without further, let's just get into it. Welcome to SpiderCast, a Spider Queen watch-along podcast. Today, we're talking about Season 1, Episode 5, The Girl That Lives in the Shadows, Seer, the Undead. After running away from the kingdom, Myken runs into the mysterious girl, Seer. Can she talk Myken into returning to the kingdom? And will Myken be able to return to the kingdom in time to save it from a revolution? Find out today on SpiderCast. It's Season 1, Episode 5. Welcome to SpiderCast, Episode 5. Welcome. Happy Wednesday, or happy Friday to all of you out there. You'll be watching this on Friday. We're not going to do the On This Day in History because it's really bumming me out. It's really bumming me out. Because it's like all just not fun stuff was going on in the world and on May 30th, 2022. Just in that period of time. So it's really going to bum me out. We might get back into it later on, but it's really bumming me out. I'll tell you what happened today in history. Like today, January, whatever day this is, January something, January 15th, was that I realized that the 6th anniversary of the show, of the Spider Queen show, is in 2 weeks. Yeah, exactly 2 weeks. January 28th, 2019 was when we first started working on the show. Is when the first episode of the show was released. Universe Warriors, the final chapters, the prologue was released on January 28th, 2019. So maybe there might be something special. I don't know. There may be something special for 6 years of the show. Who knows? You'll just have to see. But that's what happened today in history, January 15th. I forgot again. January 15th, 2025. Oh, I screamed that. Didn't mean to scream that. 25. Man, it's weird. How long until we all start actually remembering that it's 2025? I give it 6 more months. I still hear people talk about 2024 on the radio today. I heard an advertisement for like the all new Toyota's 2024 Toyota something. And I was like, 2024? And it took me a second to realize that it didn't just turn 2024, it turned 2025. year changes are weird. Year changes are weird. Okay, today we're here to talk about Spider Queen Season 1, Episode 5, The Girl That Lives in the Shadows, Seer the Undead. And we're going to break apart this episode as we watch it. But before we begin, because I'm trying not to pause the video, because I pause it and then the podcast goes on forever. So I'll get my little nitty gritty details about this episode out ahead of time before we start. This episode is a shorter one. It's only 11 minutes and 2 seconds. It introduced a new character that's going to be central to the story plot. So that's two. Why am I saying it's not. Well, we'll give it a rating at the end of the episode, but I don't remember it being one of my favorite episodes. I don't remember it being one. And the character of Seer the Undead is a very interesting character that I think is going to change later on. There's probably going to be a name change, and there's probably going to be a character change, because it's kind of... It's kind of loose. It's not... I feel like it's not concise. The story just isn't as good as it could be. And again, it's 11 minutes. If we were to go back and rewrite these first 8 episodes, which I should, because they just don't have that feel that they should for being the first 8 episodes of a show, which should be hooking the audience, when clearly we didn't, because the viewership went down exponentially from episode 1 to episode 5. So let's just get into episode 5, Seer, the Girl That Lives in the Shadows, Seer the Undead, and let us begin right now.
Iceberg
It
City
sounds like I'm on an
Productions
airplane
presents
when I
Spider Queen,
recorded
the
this
series.
intro.
Recorded at
That's so
Iceberg
bizarre.
City Studios, with
What did I
additional
use for a
recording at
mic?
Iceberg City Studios, New York.
That sounds
Spider Queen, the
atrocious.
series.
Oh, and there was additional recording in
Episode
New York.
5.
Previously on Spider
loud.
Queen.
Mike and Sandbrand, you are not
Alright, there's no way that was the
Spiderian.
actual line.
Has my whole life been a
From
lie?
the last episode,
What
I
am
probably
I?
recorded this
Mike and
prologue,
Wade.
which I don't usually
Maiken
do.
is
I
an
don't know why I
Ician
did that,
warrior
though.
from the Ice Planet. Bakashi sent Maiken away from
I
his
gotta
home
turn it
planet
down,
when he
it's
was young
so loud.
in order to save him from certain doom.
So
Here we go.
you
So the
just
forest
sent me
background
away?
was made for this episode.
Who
So
gave
in
you permission
episode
to
4,
do that,
it was
huh?
Maiken and Bakashi,
You just
like,
sent me
awkwardly
away from
hovering
my
above the
family?
tops of the tree,
You have no
of the
idea
treetops.
how I feel,
But we had
or
the
how I
forest
felt.
background.
But I do know how you feel! I was just
There's
like
no way.
you,
Okay, there's
Maiken.
absolutely no way.
I was
that
all
this
alone.
Delivery was for the
With
actual
no
episode.
one.
It would have been so much better.
Except unlike you, I don't know my origins. I've spent my whole life trying to figure out who I am.
Which is good coffee.
When I found you that day, you reminded me of myself. Alone. I didn't want you to suffer the same loneliness I did. You have
so
24
mean.
hours. If you aren't back at the
Look how
castle
tall
by
the
then,
Bakashi is
I will
compared to
assume
that
you
tree.
don't want my training and you don't want to save the kingdom. I will leave Spideria and you will never again get your chance to learn how to use your power.
Maiken makes his decision today on Spider
Actually, I
Queen.
kind of like that transition. It would have been better if it zoomed in to the title card.
The girl that lives in the
Instead of
shadows.
doing, like, this
You're the
retro
undead.
Pokemon title card type of thing, I just put the text over the background, but I didn't do that because I wasn't smart.
Bakashi,
I'm thinking of
He's
ways to
gone.
fix it now.
who does he think he is? Making life choices for me? Who needs him anyway?
You should really
You can
be
totally
more
tell that
grateful.
I,
he saved
sort
your
of found the
life.
Mike's
Some
voice
people
by this
aren't as
episode.
lucky as you.
Yeah, and what would you know about it, huh?
Got, like,
Who are you?
bubbles on my screen.
If you must know, my name is Zir.
Where did you come from?
I needed to rotate
You weren't here a
Seer
minute ago.
Yes, I was.
90 degrees.
You were?
Horizontally
Yes.
90 degrees.
You see, I live in the
so she was
shadows.
looking at Mike and I didn't do that.
I don't get it.
Oh, forget it. I didn't reveal myself
talk
to you
about
to answer
this?
questions.
We'll talk about that.
Well, what do you want from me?
I overheard your conversation with that man. I came to you so I could tell you to stop being a spoiled brat.
What? A brat? Do you know what I've been through?
Yes, I heard. You were a war baby sent to this planet. Yes, that's sad. I'm sorry that happened to you. But you have no right to complain.
What?
You don't understand just how lucky you are, do you? Do you know how many other children from your home planet were killed? You were saved. That you got to live here and be a part of the royal family.
Whoa, I...
Take me, for example. I'm probably the same age as you. But you know what? I'm dead.
Wait, what?
What was I thinking with that transition? It was awful.
Spider
The jump
Queen
cut
the series
would
is
have been
brought to you
so
by
much
these
better.
sponsors and by viewers like you.
Okay, what's up
Thank
with this?
you.
What was up with that ad? What? I don't. Okay. Obviously, we're doing a Coca-Cola ad there, but it didn't. I don't know. Or I flipped her.
That's right. I'm dead. I was born this way. My parents decided they wanted to try their hand at necromancy, the forbidden magic. They were trying to make a spell that would give them eternal life.
I love the nature.
They failed.
sounds.
This kind of magic has dark consequences. As a consequence, when I was born, I was given the gift of eternal death, only being able to walk among the living if there are shadows nearby. So go ahead and complain about your family and your past. But at the end of the day, you have people that love and care about you. Not everyone has that.
They
Oh, Maiken was rendered
love
awful
me.
in that.
Come on, Maiken. It's time for recess.
Dude, this
Let's
is
go
just the
play with the other
hospital wing.
kids.
With
You
all
can
the
play
beds
with our
taken out.
spider princess, but not
And you can see I
Maiken.
tried to add shadows
Yeah,
in the
no
background. It did
way.
very well.
Yeah, he's just a freak. He can't even
Was that me?
transform
Oh,
back
Jackson
into a
did that. I guess
spider.
that was me.
Loser!
Hey! Take that back. Maiken is no freak. He's my brother and my best friend. I love him. You watch. One day he will be stronger than all of you.
Spider Queen.
Spider Queen. Sorry.
Princess, why don't you take Maiken on a tour of the
I
castle?
like how this is the
Maybe you can
only,
bring back his memories.
Memory of Spider that
Doc.
Maiken could associate with me.
Alright, that's enough for today. Maiken, you're doing so
Wish I had
well.
Kakashi, like,
Look how much
hanging
you've
on
improved
his
since
head.
we started training. I'm
You know,
proud
it
of
was
you.
like half- like,
I truly believe that you will be stronger than even me one day.
I really got the Bakashi.
Really,
voice in
Bakashi Tenzo?
Now, don't get too excited. I'm not going to make it easy on you.
Bakashi Tenzo.
this. They really do.
They really do love me. Even though I'm not one of them, they love me. Seer, I'm sorry. I was too caught up in the negatives and I... Seer?
Maiken!
Father... old man.
Maiken! I'm sorry that we hid such a secret from you for your entire life.
You can kind of see.
We never meant to hurt you. Maiken, I don't care that you're not my actual son. I love you. I always did. I'm so happy you came into my life. I'm so proud of you and all you have done. Keep on living your best life, Maiken.
Until we meet again.
Until we meet again
Next one.
in the next one.
I
Farewell.
want to talk about this scene. I do want to talk
My
about
son.
There's so many things I want to talk about. We'll talk about after the episode.
Father! Old man! How can I be so blind? Of course they love me.
Do you see now, Maiken? You are loved. Don't forget that.
Ah! Seer? Where did you come from? What just happened? I saw the old man, but he's gone.
One of my abilities is that I can travel between the world of the living and the dead. Spider King wasn't ready to rest in peace until he spoke with you.
So, you brought him here? How did you do that?
To be honest, my powers
That
are
was
a
a
mystery.
really good.
Even
acting
to
on that
me.
one.
Spider King appeared to you on his own behalf. I just let him use my body to appear before you.
Seer? I'm sorry.
Every time I get open,
You're right.
This is about this.
I
whole
don't have it bad.
life moves
Just
forward.
because some bad things have happened in my past doesn't mean my life is over. I see now that the place of my birth has nothing to do with who I am. I may not be Spiderian,
Okay, I lost the voice there.
but I am in my heart. Thank you, Seer.
Now, Myken, I believe you have a kingdom to protect and training to attend.
Wait, why don't you come with me? Maybe Bakashi Tenzo can help you with your powers as well. And with Spider Queen now being the queen, I could use a new training partner.
I appreciate your
I
offer,
think that's so
Myken,
much dumber.
but I'm
later in the
afraid
show.
that's impossible. I'm a necromancer.
Why?
That's the only magic I know. My whole body is made up of death. Necromancy is outlawed in the kingdom in most places in the universe. Even if I was allowed, I would have to use a special spell that would allow me to appear in the castle. And using the spell involves opening a portal between the living world and the afterlife. I'm afraid I can't join you. But remember, I'll always be in the shadows.
Seer. I'm going to make this work somehow. I promise. One day, I'll make it so you can freely walk among the living.
Don't make a promise you can't keep, Myken.
Sorry, but from now on, I'm never giving up. I will do this.
Myken,
Now,
didn't-
I should
she didn't
probably
open her
get
mouth in
going.
time.
Take care,
That was definitely
Seer.
me thinking.
What was
Ooh,
that?
I love that
I
transition.
think it
of
was some
Myken's
sort
mouth
of giant explosion.
going from
That came from the direction of the kingdom.
Or
Hold on, I'm coming.
I was just like, "Blur, let me be busy."
Wait,
And then she didn't turn.
Spider Queen,
And then this is
Akashi
like a
Tenzo,
Flintstones things running
Spider Doc,
past this thing.
I'm coming. Please, be okay.
Without having time to fully comprehend all that he has learned from the mysterious girl Seer, Myken races for the kingdom. Will Myken make it on time? What is happening in the kingdom? Find out as the revolt begins next time on Spider Queen.
Oh, there's so much I want to talk about this episode that I was kind of biting my lip to not discuss during the episode. We'll watch the credits. I love the credit. I don't know. I love the credits for some reason. Product of the state of Maine. What part was recorded in New York? That's what I want to know. I have no idea. But I guess one part was. Ooh. Okay, my bad. I didn't tab that one. Is there no make? Oh no, but this is for the
Next time, the throne belongs to me. Spider
So this was during
Hermit
the second
attacks. No, Bakashi
anniversary of the
Tenzo.
show.
Myken, please
Because
hurry.
oh, hold on. Oh, it's starting episode 6 because we did the little shout out there at the end. Okay. I want to bring up a picture here on the show. I don't want captions. All right, let me go to this. I want to go to this shot of Myken and Seer. Bring it up in the edit. All right. So what I want to talk about here is character designs. And one, I love Seer's character design. Seer might have, I think, one of the best designs in the show. It's perfect. It's perfect in every way. You know, we're thinking about a girl who was born in a circumstance of punishment, where the fact that her parents were using necromancy, which is forbidden, and that her birth was a punishment, and that the punishment of her birth was that she's half dead, as in she cannot exist in the normal world, but she can only live in the shadows, and which sort of gives her like this otherworldly ability, which you sort of learn more about as the show continues. But I really like this outfit that we gave her because it gives you sort of that mysterious, almost witchy vibe that I think really works with her character. And I want to talk about the ghostly image, which I think really kind of also works, that she's very pale. Like when you think of vampires or you think of ghosts and ghouls and things that are dead, you think of very pale things because they don't have any blood, right? So I think that, and you put it in comparison next to Myken, who as an Icean is also supposed to be very pale, because Icean, ice, snow, when their counterparts, the Firens, are very red and very fiery and more of a darker complexion, when the Iceans are more of a lighter complexion because it's ice and snow. But then you look at just how much ghostlier Seer looks in this, and I really like this comparison. But I do think that Seer has one of the best character designs. I think Van did a fantastic job on Seer. Van did a fantastic job on all the characters, but I really like Seer's character design. I love her clothes. I love the outfit that she's wearing. I just think that she is a terrific character, and I'm really excited for more to come from her. I know that we're going to be changing. She's going to go through a lot of changes as the show continues to sort of make the character make more sense and make the character bring the character to life more. Not in the fact that she's dead and that she's coming to life. I mean, like, just give her more of a character progression. When in this episode, and even in the first part, it's sort of like we're still figuring out. I was still figuring out her character, and I think in a way, even throughout the whole show, we're still figuring out her character. But I think that she has a lot of big stuff that comes up in the future, and I think that she'll become a fan favorite character for sure, just from how she progresses in the story. So I'm really excited to see more Seer in the story. Claire is the name that I think we're going to end up landing on. Claire sort of gives that other, I don't know, just sort of seems right for her. I don't know why. Looking at her, I see a Claire. So next week on the pod, we will be discussing episode 6. The Throne Belongs to Me, Spider Hermit Attacks. We're going to be starting with the action, people. The fight begins next time, and I'm very excited to go over that one. This one is only a minute and 12 seconds longer. It had, hold on, pulling it up here. No, what? Technology has failed me. It had 81 views, 12 minutes and 31 seconds long. I'm very excited for it. We finally got into YouTube 10 HD 1080p. Actually, I think we got into that with episode 5. But episode 6, you can start seeing the shots lined up more carefully. And I'm not only thinking from an audio editing standpoint, but I'm also thinking from a filmmaking standpoint. It's not as good as, say, the shots are in episode 7 and in episode 8, but they are definitely there. And I think, I'm very excited at the Poison Spear. There was another shot, actually, before we end, that there's another thing that I wanted to discuss. Let me see if I can figure it out. Was it yes, it was the Myken Orzik scene. When Orzik is presenting himself to Myken, and Myken right away says, "Father," and then right away, instantly, stops himself and says, "Old man," because he just learned in the previous episode that Spider King is not his father. Orzik Spider King is not his real father. And I think this just sort of shows just that instant reflection that Myken had, and he went through this big, I hate everyone, I'm running away, to then realizing that what he's doing is wrong. But Myken in this episode particular, episode 5, seems very smart. Just in this first arc in general, Myken seems very smart. And as the show progresses, it seems like his IQ goes down, which is kind of bizarre. Because in no way am I saying that Myken is not smart. But the whole thing about it, and you learn more about this as the show continues, and the fact that Myken's brain isn't operating at 100% because of his Icean cells, and you learn all about it. But in these episodes in particular, he just seems a lot more smart and a lot more worldly of a person than he definitely does later on when he's like written off the show for 27 episodes, and then he comes back and it just seems like his IQ dropped. So it's interesting seeing where I was when we started writing the show 6 years ago to where it ended up now that we're done writing the show. So it's interesting to see. And it'll be a fun... I really want to go back and rewrite these first 8 episodes because I think that I could improve them a lot and make the pace better and make them more entertaining, because 11-minute episode with one scene where it's just exposition the whole episode just isn't enjoyable to watch, I think. And the first 8 episodes in particular are like that because, you know, we're explaining the lore, we're explaining the show, we're explaining the story, the things that are happening. But there is a way that it could have been done that would have made it more entertaining and overall more enjoyable. But on a scale of, okay, we're getting doggy barks. My neighbor's dog is barking. I want to go and pet my neighbor's dog. It just sits in there all day by itself, and I want to go pet it. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Let's give this episode a rating on spider guards from 1 spider guard to 10 spider guards. 10 spider guards being the best and 1 spider guard being the worst. I would give episode 5 a solid 6.5. 6.5 spider guards. I think that we started trying new things in this episode. We're at YouTube 1080p, we're at HD, we're playing around with shots. The transitions were a little funky. I definitely think that I had, at this point, had come into the voice of both Maiken and Bokashi, but even then, there's still a little... They fell out in some points. I think that the prologue wasn't good. I think that the prologue was kind of low effort, and I'm disappointed in myself for that. And the transitions were funky. I like that we were trying something new, but they were just funky and I don't think worked very well. And I think that the pace could have been picked up a little bit more. I would give it a 6. I'm going to give it a solid 6.5 spider guards, because I'm not going to say it's the worst episode of the show so far. I think the worst one would probably be episode 2 or 3, but it definitely has potential, I guess. But I would give it a 6.5. I would give it a 6.5 spider guards. It's not there. I'd be interested to see if we can get any 10s. Maybe episode 7, maybe episode 8. Episode 7 I remember being really fun, but we'll discuss that when we get to that. We'll discuss it when we get to it. I'm very excited. 3 more SpiderCasts left. Do not miss it. Next week we will be going over episode 6. The Throne Belongs to Me, Spider Hermit Attacks. I'm sorry, people only ever text me when I'm like doing important things. No one ever texts me when I'm just hanging out. But we'll be going over episode 6, and I'll give a little episode synopsis. In episode 6, Maiken rushes to the kingdom as Spider Hermit begins his revolt against the kingdom in order to seize the throne. Spider Queen must stand up to protect and defend the kingdom that she loves so dearly. And that is Spider Queen Season 1, Episode 6, The Throne Belongs to Me. Spider Hermit Attacks. See you next time.